Slaves here with the Senior Pickleball Report powered by TNC Network. Let's get it going. Today in our People of Pickleball episode, we have two people that play in our group here in the Gila Valley. It's Gabrielle and her son Ra, who went to Bhutan and spent some time there playing with locals and promoting the game and learning the game themselves, which was pretty exciting. So we have a nice full interview with them and some great pictures, and here's some really cool stories. But before we get to that, if you like this content, consider subscribing. Check out all the links in the description for discounts. Check out our newsletter as well, our new website, and our merch page. All right, let's get to that conversation with Gabrielle and Ra. All right, hey, welcome to the Senior Pickleball Report, Gabrielle and Ra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So a little bit of background that I gave in the intro. You guys played pickleball with me at the world's worst pickleball courts. So I sort of know your story about how you got into the game, and we're going to talk about your trip to Bhutan in a minute. But first, let's find out, Ra, let's start with you. Like, how did pickleball sort of fall into your life, and when did you start playing?
Well, we met up at a family gathering. We met this really cool lady. She was like babysitting us kind of.
Yeah.
And she showed us a little bit of pickleball, and we were like, "Oh, that's cool." And then she invited us over, and so we went over and we had like a little pickleball like tournament and stuff. And then we kind of got I got a little more into it and kept playing and stuff. And then I brought it home and showed my mom and my family, and then that's yeah.
Cool. So Gabrielle, I know at one point I was hitting balls against the wall, and you were roller skating. This is probably a year or two ago, with your girls and stuff. So eventually you started playing. So talk to me about kind of how you started deciding to hit the wiffle ball around.
Yeah, we were at this, like you said, we were at this gathering. It wasn't necessarily a family gathering. There was other people there. There's this woman that came, and she just loves pickleball so much and loves teaching kids. And there was a group of kids there. She was playing with them a lot. And she really just thought Ra was so talented with pickleball. She actually sent him, and she had just started this program that the year that we went to Bhutan. This was only the third year they've done this pickleball in Bhutan program. So she immediately had this dream to help Ra just excel at pickleball. And she said, wouldn't it be amazing if I could take him to Bhutan? So she sent us this big box with like 4 different paddles. I think she's sponsored by Gearbox. So all these really nice Gearbox paddles, all these balls, a shirt that said, I love Bhutan. And she was really pushing for Ra to get to go. And then she helped us find so we immediately found you guys, and found the crew at the world's worst pickleball courts, which I think is a great place to start. And,
right.
So we were trying to get more serious about that with him. She got him some training down in Las Cruces and then signed him up for a tournament in Santa Fe, and he took 3rd place. And, I was kind of interested in it, but I'm always like the worst athlete around. I'm always the worst one on the field of whatever game I'm playing. And so nobody really noticed me. And I was just kind of going along. I was enjoying it, but there's a little bit of something when you're always the worst. It's not that exciting, but I hung with it, and was having a lot of fun at the Gila Pickleball Club. And everything kind of fell into place for me to get to go with him. And as you know, I have 4 kids. He's my oldest, and having this wonderful opportunity to go to Bhutan and not have to cook and clean, not have any responsibilities other than playing pickleball, making sure I'm at dinner on time, trying to pretend like I could teach all these people how to play. I was basically the ball girl at the beginning while everybody else taught all the other 20 people. But those 2 weeks of being in Bhutan and getting to have a paddle in my hand almost every day allowed me to feel like I could actually play it. I came back from Bhutan. So it's like I was loving it before, but I think that little space of not having so many responsibilities and actually getting to practice. And Nancy, this woman, is a phenomenal coach. In this tiny bit of time, I feel like I became someone who could play pickleball.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're a little hard on yourself because I've seen you roller skate, and I'm sure you can dance very well. And if we were all put skates on and start dancing, we would be the worst athletes, and you would not be the worst athlete. So your body control is impressive, and I think that'll actually help, and it has helped in your game. You're very aware of how you move, and I think that's an important part of the game. So, and you've made leaps and bounds over just the last few months. So I'm excited to sort of see where your game can go because you are athletic. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I've roller skated. That's no joke. That is no, and I've seen where you roller skate, and that's even harder. So I'll put up a little picture here of our courts, and you can see the smooth surface she gets to skate on. So I mean, it's one thing obviously to play this game, and it's quite a we the three of us know this. It's somewhat of a miracle that pickleball even exists out where we all live. I mean, I don't think people have an appreciation for how remote we are. We live against the Gila Wilderness, which is the size of Connecticut, where there's really no infrastructure in there. The closest real town to us is only 10,000 people, and that's 35 miles away. So if you want to go play in town, it's like a 70-mile round trip. And yet somebody had the insight 50, 60 years ago to put down tennis courts in the middle of nowhere. And the fact that we can have a surface that is, in fact, crumbling, and then somebody put lines down, and we have this group of about 20 to 25, I think is quite mind-blowing on some level. And I don't think any of us try and take that for granted, because if you drive through a lot of communities that are the size of ours, there's nothing like that at all. So I think we're pretty appreciative. What about, though, like I said, it's one thing to do this. It's another thing to go across the world, the globe, and then, sort of involve yourself with the locals in a sport that is reaching places that not only in Gila, but, Bhutan. What was there a discussion? Like, are we going to really do this? Because that's not a short trip. I'm sure it's not exactly cheap. And there's a lot of details behind that. So, Rob, when you found out that you had an opportunity to go, I'm sure you were excited, but did you know anything about Bhutan?
No, I had like never really even heard of Bhutan before.
Yeah.
And so like I started looking into it, and it looked like a really, really awesome place, and it was like that, like one of the happiest countries in the world or something like
Right.
that. And
Yeah.
it was an amazing opportunity just to go see a whole different culture, and like just to see how they're like how everything, the temples and all the sites there was to see, and then also just to play pickleball at all those sites, and just like
Right. Right.
you're like, wow,
Yeah. Yeah. So, Gabrielle, I mean, it's got to be something else. I mean, obviously, you're having your own experiences, and you talked a little bit about this on your trip, but then to watch your son, with you there, going through all these things. Talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was an incredible journey. We made a GoFundMe page and raised the money for him to go. And, yeah, it was a wild three-day journey to get there. We went,
Right.
we had to drive to Tucson, fly to LA, fly to Korea, fly to Thailand. And then in Thailand, we stayed for 2 days, and we were so thrilled and excited, I think, about this whole journey. We went and saw a Muay Thai kickboxing match, and then later found that some of the people were starting to arrive from the different parts of the United States. And some of them these people are crazy about pickleball. Some of them went and found pickleball courts in Thailand, so while we were trying to figure out what are we going to do for this 2.5 days we're in Thailand, they're like, oh, we played pickleball. We made these pickleball friends. And so we were starting to catch the buzz of that. And when we first got to Bhutan, Ra actually got sick for the first like 2 or 3 days. And I think that was a real bummer for him, because there was one other boy. This is the third year that they've done this program, Pickleball in Bhutan. The first year that they decided to bring young people. So there was another boy, his exact age pretty much, from Tucson. And so he was really excited and trying to jump in, but he'd been doing a lot of travel and was really sick. So the first few days, we kind of missed out on, teaching some of the school kids and some of the traditional dinners, and just kind of making the best of, kind of that journey of, being sick in the country, and kind of,
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Rod, don't feel bad. I've gone to Uganda, Nicaragua, Italy, and Ireland, and all those places I got sick. I've I passed kidney stones in countries. I've gotten dengue fever in countries. I've gotten bot flies in my skin in countries. So I think it's part of the experience that you just got to go through this, and that's part of adapting to a place as well, obviously, and the food and the water, which we can talk about later. So talk to me about like the organization, like what this organization is. I know we touched on it, taking obviously pickleball to Bhutan. Can people sign up for this? Where can they find the information? I'll have a link below, but like, how did you kind of come across it, and where can other people kind of find out about it too?
Gosh, that's such a good question. I will have to call, our connection was this woman, Nancy,
Right.
and she was a retired tennis pro, tennis teacher,
Okay.
and kind of moved into the phase of her life where pickleball was more accessible to her. And she is an outrageous pickleball player, teaches lots of pickleball to everyone. That's her passion, just her love and her passion. Somehow she got connected with these three women. And so Sonam, the woman, the Bhutanese woman who organizes this trip and was our tour guide. And then this other woman, Kathleen, who is an anthropologist and does lots of work for the Bhutan Cultural Exchange. And there's one other woman, I'm not sure her name, but then, and Nancy also works for the Bhutan Cultural Exchange. So I think, they're really, this is a group of people where their mission is raising money to build pickleball courts. I mean, the meat of this vision is right now they're in the process of raising money to put a pickleball court at this nunnery. So they've been doing the groundwork for the nunnery and the monastery. The nunnery's only been there for a couple years, so there was only options for people to go into spiritual service if they were men. And so this nunnery is stunning. It's beautiful on the outside of one of the cities, up in the mountains, just pristine. And all these beautiful nuns from like ages 4 to like, I think we met some like 4 to 28, a lot of young women that are leaving their families and going into spiritual service, and they are thrilled about pickleball.
Yeah.
And so I guess like I could probably, maybe I'll call Nancy after this call and ask her, because they definitely are happy to have people that want to come. It's like if you can,
Yeah.
I think even by just going as a tour, being able to come up with that amount of money to go, because it
Right.
costs $50 a day just to be there. But the program itself was so supportive. The food was amazing. The places were lovely. We stayed in really beautiful places. This one hotel right where you fly into, I think they were also hosting a lot of the international soccer players. And so
Oh yeah.
pickleball court is right next to the soccer field. And so when you're eating your meals in the hotel, you're seeing the soccer players that are going to be playing, they're going to be competing internationally. So there's like this
Right.
really neat kind of like just athletic vibe, that we got to be
Yeah.
part of. And we were working, they're training coaches. They're getting really serious about wanting to potentially compete if it becomes an Olympic sport. And so we
Yeah.
traveled with there was a young man, I think he's in his 20s, who became a great friend of Ra. And then this other man, maybe closer to my age, I'm 40, who were just with us all the time. And they were practicing every minute, before dinner, after dinner, before breakfast, after breakfast, and the group of people that we were with were really like that. I mean, it's one of my favorite times. I think Ra chose, he went to go play basketball, I think, with the other kid, and they were having fun running around this other country.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're a kid, right?
Yeah. It was so fun. They were finding basketball courts and playing basketball. They had brought some jerseys from professional players and some basketballs, and they gifted those to different schools as well. And we got to meet Bhutanese baseball team that they're building. So this one day after lunch, I went up to this college in Bhutan, and it was up on this high mountain. And in the distance, you could see I think it's the largest Buddha statue in Asia. It's definitely in top 3. I don't want to quote it wrong. We went inside that temple, and it was stunning. That's where the fabulous photos I sent you of playing pickleball.
Which you can see here.
Yes, and so at this college, you can see that Buddha statue in the distance, and we're just right there playing pickleball, which is, I mean, it was majestic. The scenery, really spectacular.
Oh, I'm sure it had to be stunning. I mean, I just looked at some pictures that you sent, and then I started going online and started looking at some pictures as well. And I would argue the scenery in Bhutan is unmatched in the world. Like, it's just the majestic views that they have in the places. And to think that pickleball is somehow this silly little wiffle ball game that has found us in Gila and has found, the most outreach places on the globe is really, I've interviewed so many people, and a lot of people told me pickleball changes lives. And for like the first year, I was like, come on, it's just a wiffle ball. But then I see what happens in the travels that people do and the way it's changed sort of the way they interact with other people and the community that it builds. And even our community. I mean, we have all walks of life, as from ages 11 to 82, 83 years old, all different ideologies, all different races, genders. And it's something that is pretty cool because a lot of these folks, including we would not hang around each other. We just would cross paths as much. But this silly whipple ball game has sort of brought us all together, which is really cool. And maybe we could have Nancy on the show and she could talk a little bit about what she's trying to put together because it sounds like what she's doing is pretty incredible. Before we let you go, Rod, do you dunk on anybody?
No.
What was your favorite part of the trip, bro?
Probably the temples and going to that big Buddha statue and just playing pickleball under there with the big views, and like there was like a giant staircase and we just ran up and down that until we couldn't anymore. So
right. Super fun being a kid and having that experience at such a young age. It stays with you, and you're a very talented player. And I think I'm sure whatever sports you choose to kind of pursue, you're going to be good at because you can just tell you come from an athletic family and you have fun with it. So that's cool to see. And same with you, Gabrielle. I hope you stick with it because it's one, we need more women playing our game on our courts. And two, I just like watching people on our court. Everybody's just smiling. And that's kind of what's the fun part of it. And obviously you made an incredible journey across the globe. I know this is private, so you don't have to, but do you want to share a little bit of your return, Gabrielle, and what kind of went through? Because, I mean, there is a cost to this, and it's not always money.
Yeah, that was totally wild. It was, just like our pickleball crew in Gila, the crew that came together was so diverse and eclectic from all parts of the United States. They all shared in common the pickleball, very highly athletic people. And I was really getting in that vibe there, just enjoying. I was running with some girls and doing my yoga practice and just feeling really super athletic. And then I came home, and within 5 days, I was in the intensive care. I got ambulanced down to Las Cruces and spent 3 nights in the hospital. And came, according to my blood work, came pretty close to dying, which is so crazy. Yeah. And I just like picked up this wild autoimmune. I think based on some deficiency, my immune system was attacking my blood platelets and pretty much almost wiped them out. I got down to 1,000 platelets, and so it was a really wild experience. And the hematologist uncovered that I drank, just too many tonic waters while in Bhutan. And so that was really, it was so wild to have that contrast of just like going through the most amazing adventure with my son. It was so special having this special time with him. And then immediately, once I get home, getting ready to reunite with my other children, having missed them so much, I land in then I have to go down to the hospital and do that. But I've made a full recovery, and I'm still in the process of uncovering, what I need to do to like build up that deficiency. But I feel amazing. I just dipped down and popped right back up. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it also might say something for the way you live your life that you were able to recover as fast as you can. Because first of all, if you don't notice in the background, they live in like the coolest house around. So, and I'm sure they eat they're probably not eating a lot of ding dongs and ho-hos like me. So it probably helps you recover, but maybe you are, I don't know. Anyway, I think what we can take away from this is that anybody that starts to play this game, and it doesn't have to take long, can become an ambassador to it. And you two have done that globally, from our little community to a community that's across the globe. And super proud of you both, and thankful that you're out there doing it and representing a game that we all love. So thanks for your time, and hope you keep playing because it's good to have your family show up every once in a while, and we'd like to have you more. I know you're busy, but we always say the family's here. And we got to set up another net. No, so it's really cool, and it makes our group a lot more fun as well. So thank you both for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Links in the description. You want to find out more about Bhutan, and if you want to go, you can contact me, and I'll get some information for you there as well. All right, thank you both. Hope you enjoyed our conversation about Bhutan and pickleball spreading globally. Pretty cool game. Really fun interview with Ra and Gabrielle, and thank you for your time. And it's really cool to see the game just kind of spread between cultures. So that's what it's all about, community. All right, folks, you know what to do. Hey, let's pickle.